A very good evening to you. My name is Samson Itodo, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Ready to Run show. We've been off air for a couple of weeks because of the general elections that seem to have come and gone. However, we still got Rivers State, which we hope will be concluded in a couple of days. And so welcome to Ready to Run. And this is a show brought to you by Yaiga Africa, the Not Too Young to Run movement, and Channels Television, and supported by the European Union. And if you're out there, I hope you casted your vote. A few weeks ago, we were here to talk about the turnout of voters for the presidential elections that was abysmally poor. We can't say as young people we are 51% of registered voters. And at the end of the day, only 36% of registered voters actually turned out to cast their vote. We know there were a couple of challenges. First, there's crisis of confidence in the electoral process, the militarization of the process, also the postponement. There are a couple of factors. In fact, voter suppression also manifested itself in new forms in the 2019 elections. And we hope that in the post-election period, we will audit this election and see and explore ways how we can better our electoral process just to enhance the participation of not just young people, women and young persons with disability, but even the elderly. It's quite sad that a lot of women didn't win their elections. In fact, but even during the party primaries, not a lot of them were given party tickets. Some of them, even when they won the party primaries, their parties substituted them and imposed male candidates. And so as a country, we lost the opportunity to have women in leadership positions sitting in the National Assembly, as well as state houses of assemblies, as well as government houses across the states, and even in the presidency. I hope that as we march towards 2023, we will have more women get active in the political process. And not just women, but we have younger women who will provide excellent leadership that Nigeria needs. And so for our political parties, please prioritize the women participation as well as youth participation and the participation of persons with disability. As you know, this show is focused on youth candidates, but the elections are over. But like we said a few weeks ago, we will be bringing these candidates, these young candidates who contested and they won, so they can tell us how they won their elections, but more importantly, what's their agenda for the next 4 years, because we want to know what their agenda is. And we weren't supporting young candidates because they are young, but because we thought that they have, not thought, we believe that they have the capacity, they have the character, and they have the competence to provide the responsive, the accountable, the innovative, and transformative leadership that Nigeria needs. And so on this show today, we will be airing a documentary showcasing the experiences that a lot of young people face during the party primaries. Also on the show today, we will be showing you how young people actually fared. Did Not Too Young to Run achieve its goal by the reduction of the age for running for office? When we come back from this short break, we will show you and tell you how young people fared in the 2019 elections. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Ready to Run show brought to you by Yaiga Africa, the Not Too Young to Run movement, and it's supported by the European Union in partnership with Channels Television. And this show focuses on youth participation in the political process. Like I said before we went on that short break, we're going to be showing us the outlook of how young people fared in the 2019 elections. And specifically, we're looking at youth candidacy in the 2019 general elections. And we've got some graphics to actually show to you. But before then, we'd like to use this opportunity to congratulate all the young people who contested as candidates and they won their elections. On behalf of Yaiga Africa and the Not Too Young to Run movement, we say congratulations to you for your success. We're very excited. But more importantly, the business of governance starts now. And we expect that these young people who have won will provide the quality leadership and representation that Nigeria and the people who voted for you do expect. But for those who ran and they lost, democracy is a journey. Do not lose hope. there's an opportunity again in 2023. So you need to start now. Like we say in Not Too Young to Run and the Ready to Run movement, even if you lose the elections, do not lose your supporters. Continue to give them hope because 2023 is not far from now. The other issue that we like to bring to the fore is the fact that when we reel out the data on the youth representation, it's quite sad that not a lot of women won their elections in the 2019 general elections. Before the elections, we told you that in the National Assembly, there are about 1,515 youth candidates, and these are young people between 18 and 35, and they represent about 23% of the candidates that were fielded in the 2019 elections for presidential elections, the National Assembly elections. And you can see the graphic on your screen showing us the disaggregation of how the youth candidates that were presented by different political parties fared. But let's talk about how did they perform in this election. And so from the data that INEC released for the National Assembly, today we do have about 12 young people who are under 35 who won their elections into the Federal House of Representatives. So 12 under 35s have emerged as members of the House of Representatives. And this is sort of an improvement in 2015, when only 3 young people between 18 and 35 were actually members of the House of Representatives. And so even though it is not much, but we would say kudos to the young Nigerians who actually campaigned for Not Too Young to Run, as well as the young people who actually participated. So in the House of Representatives, there will be 12 members of the House of Representatives who are under 35. Let's look at their party representation. The APC actually has about 10. So out of the 12, 10 of them are from the APC, 1 is from APGA, and 1 from SDP. And so in terms of party performance, for youth candidates or youth representation, the All Progressive Congress is actually performing better than every other political party, because out of the 12, we've got 10 from the APC. If we look at under 30s in the State House of Assembly, now this is based on data that YIGA Africa has gathered from 26 states. Data from 26 states clearly shows that for the State House of Assemblies, there are 15 young people who are between 25 and 30 who have emerged as winners. So we will have 15 members of State House of Assemblies who are under 30s. Now, these are very, very important because they are the beneficiaries of the Not Too Young to Run legislation. As you know, the Not Too Young to Run law reduced the age for running for State Houses of Assemblies from 30 to 25. And so these 15 who have emerged as members of their different State Houses of Assemblies are beneficiaries of the Not Too Young to Run legislation. Let's look at how the parties and how they perform. Out of this 15, the APC has got 7, PDP has got 5, and then SDP 2, and ZLP, Zenith Labour Party 1. And so the APC is still performing better than other political parties with respect to the number of young elected members of the State House of Assemblies who are under 35. The sad part of this is none of them is actually a woman. And so all the 15 who are under 30s are all male, and all the 12 who are members of the House of Reps are all female. If you look at the data for between ages 31 and 35, for the State Houses of Assemblies, there are about 55 of them. This is based on data from 26 states. There are 55 of them. Only 2 out of these 55 are females, also indicating poor and low women representation. If you look at the party distribution, the APC also is performing better. The APC, out of the 55 who are between 31 and 35, APC has got 34 of them, PDP 14, ADC 2, APM 2, ABGA 1, and ZLP 1. When you take it a notch higher, between 36 and 40, in the House of Reps, there are 27 of them. 27 members of the House of Reps will be between 36 and 40. The APC has got 21, the PDP has 3, ABGA has 1, and AA has 1. Out of this 27, none of them is a female, and that's quite disappointing. For the State House of Assemblies, between 36 and 40, we would have 94 members of the State House of Assemblies who are between 36 and 40. 66 of them are from the APC, 15 from PDP, ABGA will have 7, and NNPP will have 1. This is the outlook on how young people are actually fed, particularly the youth candidates in the 2019 general elections. The Not Too Young to Run movement and YIGA Africa, in a couple of weeks, will be hosting the Convergence 2.0, and we'll be hosting all these young people who have run and won to a big convening called the Convergence 2.0, focusing on leadership, politics, and power, a build-up on what we organized for youth candidates in December 2018. This time, the Convergence 2.0 will be focusing on the candidates that actually won their elections. We're going to put them together here in Abuja to inspire them, empower them with the skills that they need to provide the quality leadership and representation that their people actually desire. And so if you're a young person at the state or at the national level who contested and you won your elections, please reach out to YIGA Africa. Send us an email, nottoyoungtorun@yiga.org or readytorun@yiga.org, and be rest assured that we will contact you to invite you to the Convergence 2.0. Before I actually sign off tonight, because we have the documentary that will be airing, we'd like to hear from you, and please do send us your comments and your questions. These are our social media handles scrolling on your screen. On Twitter is Ready to Run NG, Facebook is Ready to Run NG, and you can send us an email, readytorunng@yiga.org. That's our email address, and visit our website, www.readytorunng.org or yiga.org. This is where I will sign out on this segment of the show, but the show is not coming to an end because we've got a very interesting documentary and where we'll be showcasing young aspirants who are telling their stories about how they performed and their parties treated them in this election. It's actually very, very interesting. I've watched it and it's really, really interesting. This is where I will sign out for this week. And please keep a date with us next week when we come your way and we'll be fielding candidates who have run and they actually won. As National Assembly considers its leadership, we urge them to remember that a lot of young people voted and participated in these elections. And so if we've got youth in National Assembly and the State House of Assembly, as the National Assembly and State House of Assembly constitute their leadership, they must ensure that they are very, very inclusive. There should be women who are members of or presiding or principal officers of the National Assembly, as well as principal officers of the State House of Assembly. Only then can we say that we are a truly inclusive democracy. This is it for me tonight. My name is Samson Itodo, and please just watch this very, very interesting documentary.
For many years, the Nigerian electoral space had been defined by the deliberate exclusion of young people who could vote but not be voted for. With more than 50% of the voting population made up of youth that determined the outcome of elections, it was certain that the best version of leadership depended on the numbers, strength, devotion, and ambition of young people. The political process needed to be disrupted, fostered, and cultured to increase inclusiveness of young Nigerians who truly believes he or she was not too young to run. A movement of young people gathered across the country in May 2016, captivating the powers of the leaders in towns, local governments, states, National Assembly, and the President to wrestle all to make a new law for the country, to open up the opportunity for the young people to run for elective positions. The intentional exclusion of young men and women under the age of 35 needed to stop. Millions of people affirmed their future as being not too young to run in a fierce campaign that lasted over 1,000 days. On the 31st of May 2018, the Nigerian President, Muhammadu Buhari, at the National Assembly opened up the political space by passing into law the Age Reduction Bill, also known as the Not Too Young to Run. As a result, this saw the emergence of an inclusive nation of believers of young people in politics who are now ready to run. The new law signed guaranteed that a 35-year-old can now be president and a 25-year-old can be a member of House of Representatives or State House of Assembly. A youth quake had changed the democracy of the nation. Many young people stood ready to run to contest the political primaries battle against ranking politicians, but an unusual set of political minds exploded. The price of expression of interest forms in some political parties was set as high as 3.85 million naira for the House of Representatives and even higher as 40 million naira for other positions, thereby cutting off the aspiration of many of the young politicians. The misconception of free or reduced film prices was at most cheap talk. Others struggled with gender acceptance as an aspirant, mobilization of supporters from the community as newcomers, absence of structure in political party, social recognition of political parties, political godfatherism, endorsements, and face-off with incumbents of elective positions. Ultimately, aspirants faced losing party primaries subject to compensation and substitution from political tickets they had worked for. Here, they speak about their experience. Meet Atinuke Maria Leonard, an aspirant.
My name is Atinuke Maria Leonard, and I was an aspirant for State House of Assembly, Kaduna State House of Assembly, Chukun constituency, and I ran under the platform of PDP.
My name is Olaniwaju Ojoluwa. I'm from Ekiti State. I ran to be a member of House of Assembly. Also, I mean House of Rep. That is Ekiti South Federal Constituency 2.
I'm Amina Ilyasu from Talata Mafra Local Government, Zamfara State. I aspired for the seat of the Federal House of Representatives to represent Ankamafara constituency in Zamfara State under the platform of our great party, the All Progressives Congress, APC.
Sharing suggestions on how governance should run may be the lowest form of political engagement. Choosing to run is an attempt at making a difference.
I discovered that my constituency, we are so much lagging behind in terms of a whole lot of things, infrastructure-wise and development generally. We are so much lagging behind.
A lot of times I feel that people just talk from the behind. You know, we don't get involved. We just sit down most times and then give suggestions and say the government would have done this, would have done that, would have done it like this. And most times it really doesn't go beyond that table. We sit down and have the discussions. And a lot of times nobody wants to actually step into the scene because, you know, there's this false impression about politics of being dirty, of being this, it's a no-go terrain, you get. So I felt that the youth should get involved.
I grew up in a family where my dad is pretty big on trying to assist people. So from there, every day I come out, I see so many people coming and seeking for assistance. So if you grow up in that kind of environment, you would want to make an impact.
Every aspirant needs a team of supporters to be in the political campaign and capital to fund it. Giving them a reason to support a young aspirant may be easy, but it is also difficult to get them to give a reason why they would.
If you don't have money, don't even bother. Don't even bother, because money was like the order of the day. Why should I give money to you, a woman, like a girl for that matter?
I paid 3,850,000, I think, for House of Reps. From the beginning till date, I have spent, I think, more than 30 million naira.
A lesson not easily forgotten would also be, how do you add up your life savings spent on a party contest and have the finish line move from under your feet?
These are monies I could naturally invest in my own personal life. I get it now, but for the passion of a better society, I did that, and at the end of the day, it's coming out this way. It's really not, it's quite terrible, as it were.
Also, another type of challenge is when no one knows what is going on, yet the primaries is done.
On the day of the primaries, around 4:30 a.m. in the morning, we went to see the governor, and there was no consensus, so he told everyone to go and enter primaries. So we went. Out of 6 of us, only 2 actually mobilized people in the primaries. So from there, you know there was a problem. From the morning till around 5 p.m., nobody was there, no INEC official, no security, nothing, no party agents. But it was then that we started digging, and the chairman of my local government, he's close to me. So I called him and said, what is going on? He said he'll confirm, because the party agent will come from the state, and he is the one that they will meet and give all the election materials. So he started calling all the aspirants, and he called one person, and one of them told him it's done. It's done. That is the only thing he said, that it's done. He said, what do you mean it's done? That he's been given the mandate.
As an aspirant, knowing who will support you and those who would not support can make a difference in how far your aspirations can get.
So I had all the support, and I could remember some people were making some remarks back there that they have never seen an aspirant with such love from the masses. And when we got to the very stage of buying forms, then I was invited by my local government party to come for a gathering. So I honored the invitation, and when I got there, I was there with some other aspirants and the party people, the stakeholders, the elders of the local government, commissioners and whatever. It was such a big gathering, and that was when I was told to stop. Not only me, and other ones too. So that was what happened.
Politics has many moving parts that may break the momentum of an aspirant's campaign.
What they did, and they succeeded, was they constitute a delegation to meet my governor, because before I'm a former special assistant to him. So he encouraged me to participate. He encouraged me, he supported me. So they went and met him. They were trying to threatening him that if he allowed my emergence, he would surely lose my constituency. So I don't know what happened. It was a day or so. The INEC pasted lists in various local government INEC offices. My name were not there, and the name of other 6 people too that have been substituted to.
Cultural bias can also dictate the kind of political support given to women.
They told me that that same person that has been there for 8 years is going to run for, has been selected to go for another term. That's the 3rd time. So at the end of the day, there was nothing for me. And I was told to, worry as usual, be patient. So that was all.
People will tell you to your face that we're going to vote you because you're a woman. In fact, a guy asked me a question. The first time they were sharing my flyers, he said, is she married? Then another one asked me, I said, you don't know how to speak language very well. And I said, that is not a credential for me to run to this office.
And who exactly is not good enough for societal acceptance in politics?
There's this thing about being a single person, most especially when you're a lady. If you're not married, there's something about it. It's like, don't even talk about it. Don't even dream about this. It's a no-go zone for you as a single person. And I remember one of the women they called and she was like, that girl. Like, I wish I can say it in Hausa, like, you know, it was a kind of ridiculous way of saying that little girl, where is she coming from? You get, who does she think she is? Like, what is she trying to do? So, it was bad. It was bad.
Running for office is not just about getting the political class to open up to accept an aspirant, but also to get party delegates, communities, young people, and politicians to realize age is not a disadvantage.
Age, my age wasn't a factor at all, because I think so many people have been fed up, or they're still fed up with what the past leaders have done to them. So they felt it's time for the youth to come in and give their own, to come and share in their ideas and contribute their own experience towards developing our community. So the age wasn't a problem for me at all.
The Nigerian electoral law in Section 34 of the Electoral Act makes provision for the substitution of a candidate that emerged from a political party primary based on cogent and verifiable reasons. However, this is not adhered to by the powers that be.
And what actually pains me again is those people who were anointed never campaigned. You understand me? They never showed any interest of running. They were just selected just overnight.
I'm the one who won the election, and if you can go and ask them, they will tell you that I'm the winner. Later on, the governor or the state chairman party substitutes my name with somebody. And the issue is that my problem is that I don't know the governor, and he don't know me.
There is a lack of internal party democracy.
We are 6 in number, but I happen to be the one to be announced as a winner by one Professor Muhammad Bakori. Then it was 2 days after, then we saw a purported list on social media going around that under the list there were about 6 or 7 that are being substituted, which my name is also being substituted there.
And soon enough, these aspirants were transitioned from being leading candidates to substituted candidates.
The position I was gunning for, we had about 3 aspirants too. So we were 4, and I won. I won with a margin of about 70 votes. I won with a margin of about 70 votes. I came with 738.
I have the copy of the petition here, and the photocopy of the result sheet. And I think they make some changes. The state APC, they changed 5 names, and actually they didn't reinstate my name still. The age gap, I am 32 years, and the guy is around, I think it's around 50.
As an aspirant may be frustrated, but how do you tell their supporters that their efforts were futile because a godfather made it so?
After the returning officer announced my victory, we have the audio that announced all the nominated candidates. My name had there, and the list also. They even published it on Daily Trust, and I filled all the correspondent forms by INEC. All this happened. Then later on, all this story came up about the issue of substitution. And up to now, there is no credible person, the authority, that tell us what happened and why has happened.
An aspirant may retain his or her aspiration, but consider it difficult to change political parties and be seen as inconsistent.
A lot of offers came from other parties, but this is the first time I'm contesting or I'm aspiring.
As a young politician, you're trying to build a career. I think what I would tell people is, if you're trying to build a career as a young politician, when people see you jumping from one party to the other, just tag you as an unserious person, or even someone that's like a desperado.
It is important that youth across Nigeria realize that they are not leaders of tomorrow, but they are the leaders who are ready to run.
Those women, our great women out there who are influential, who are rich and who have legs, who have the connection to help us come on board. Because if we continue to wait for men to do it for us, honestly, I don't see any future in that. I don't see it happening.
If really government have the political will to, encourage young participants, definitely they have to look at the cost for buying all these nomination and expression of interest form, and even the campaign. They need to set off and regulate expenses for the campaign.
Yeah, for Ready to Run, I really appreciate when I signed in, the encouragement and the calls they keep on calling. The first time I had a call, they asked, sorry, I'm from Ready to Run. I just want to ask if you've picked the form, which I said, yes, I did. The next time, I think they followed the trend of the election, and they get to know whether you've made it through the end.
I will honestly commend the Ready to Run movement very well. I've been looking for these opportunities to say this to the Ready to Run. Kudos to you guys. You are doing a good job, because to me, you are doing even better than our political parties.
The Ready to Run movement is a call to action for competent young people with character to get involved in contesting for elective positions across the country. In its intricate structure, it boundlessly inspires the youth and provides capacity development for political leadership and supports young men and women to become model for excellent public leadership for national development.
I'm not just going to run in future elections, I'm going to win. Because as it turned out, it actually gained me more followers.
As a matter of fact, we're just starting. You understand, the game has just started. And so we'll keep pushing until we win.
I will continue, because this is democracy, and democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And the people want me to come.
The circumstances of the 2019 general elections are significantly different, thanks to the passage of the Not Too Young to Run bill into law in 2018. The list of all candidates in 2019 indicates that the passage of the Not Too Young to Run law opened up the political space for increased youth participation in the House of Representatives and presidential elections. In total, 1,515 youth candidates, representing 23% of all the candidates, contested for seats in the National Assembly. Youth candidacy increased from 18% in 2015 House of Representatives election to 27.4% in the 2019 House of Representatives election. There are 41.8% youth candidates vying for seats in the State House of Assembly in all the 36 states, with the majority, 23.5%, from the Northwest. Only 13.9% of the youth candidates for the State House of Assembly elections are female, while 86.1% are male. On the 14th of March, the Independent National Electoral Commission presented certificate of return to elected lawmakers for Senate and House of Assembly. The young people who dared to run for elective offices and won have the pride of a historic achievement to their names. Here, they speak on how age played a role in their experience.
My name is Kabir Tukura, member-elect representing Zuru Fokai Sakaba Dempo Sagufara constituency. I am 35 years old.
My name is Tijani Kayode Ismail.
Representing the good people of Ihiala Federal Constituency from Anambra State.
Definitely, as you're aware, there must be a challenge, and that challenge is what makes you stronger and makes you what you are. I'm a young person, definitely under the age of 40. I face a lot of challenges, definitely, more especially, and my age play a greater role because the people that are higher in age than me were seeing me as too small to vie for this seat. But with God on my side, and with the people that stood by my side, here I am today celebrating. I'm happy being members, by the grace of God, of the 9th Assembly.
First and foremost, they said I was too young. They said, how can I achieve that? How can that be possible? I am young. And that is where I feel I've benefited from the not too young to run. I stood my grounds, and with the support of Allah and people who believed in me, who understood that it is capacity that delivers, not age, stood by me, and here we are today.
There are a lot of challenges. Being a young man, you know what it takes to run an election. That is one. Two, it's all tedious, but being determined and you want to serve your people. I don't think there's any challenges about it. I feel great and happy. I don't even remember any stress I've passed through because the achievement is there already.
When you talk about challenges is, I don't think youth have challenges. We only learn from the process, and we've learned and we've gathered a lot of experience to tell the youth that they should all come out next time and they'll push the aged out.
They explain why more young people should be involved in the political process.
Youth inclusiveness and governance. We shall strive, inshallah, to make sure that the youth have a representation, a quota in the federal cabinet. That we shall strive to achieve, the youth and the women. Yes.
Number one is issue of unemployment. Number two, issue of poverty. And number three is issue of policies. We have a lot of good policies that are not implemented. What I want to drive is to make sure that things that our policies are being implemented, whatever it is. Example, the social investment programs. It is a program and a policy of government that doesn't have a law, that we need to have it a law. If you go to United States of America, if you go to UK, they have social investment programs laws. But in Nigeria, we don't have. You can see previous government came with poverty eradication, poverty alleviation programs, but they are nowhere to be found today. But this government brought the issue of social investment program, which I would like the National Assembly, the 9th National Assembly, to look at it and make it a law so that all Nigerians will benefit from this program. Thank you.
A whole lot of good things for the people of Ihiala. We're expecting good infrastructural development. We're going to attract a lot. Empowerment at all levels. We will never disappoint the grassroots because they are the reasons why we're here. Thank you very much.
As Mourinho, the coach of Inter Milan, at the point of the final match between Inter Milan and Barcelona, he said the net will talk at the right time. When we get there, the net is going to talk at the right time, by the grace of God. Thank you.
They share how they developed the courage to change people's heart in their community and the significant result it has brought them.
Believe in yourself. It is the ultimate thing. Believe in yourself, believe in God, that it is God who gives these things, not any man. And if you do that, do your homework well, and you will be there, run and dry.
Well, number one is they should be hardworking, they should be resilient, and they shouldn't take anything for granted. They should work so hard, they should be with their people, they should tell their people what they have in stock for them when they are given the opportunity. And the most important thing is they should pray to God, because God grants victory to whoever he wishes at the time he wishes.
I will always advise them to come up. Nothing can stop a willing mind. When you're determined and you're focused, you're prayerful, you get what you want.
Well, if you talk about that the election was not transparent, I would say it's not true. Like, the election was free and fair. Like in my own case, it was inconclusive. And the opposition were leading me with about 749 votes. And I came back from nowhere and won with about 34 votes. So it was transparent and free and fair. I will tell the youth that they shouldn't be discouraged and they should come out next time and they will take over the country.
Young people need to grow, believe, and prove they have capacity, competence, and character in making a difference in the country.